Hi folks, this is Aaron at Grow Journey. I'm going to show you a new hugelkultur bed that we just put in. That's hugelkultur is in hill culture. It's a Germanic term describing a certain way to build garden beds with a lot of nice biological fertility. So this is a newer bed. It hasn't been here since maybe a couple of months. And I'm going to show you that and then talk to you about biological diversity or biodiversity, and also succession planting, which is essentially just planting multiple crops, multiple harvestable crops together at the same time that extend through different seasons, so that you're always getting a harvest out of the same bed instead of waiting a month or two between times that you'd be harvesting plants. So kind of jumping down to the front of the bed here, you can see this nice patch of stuff here is actually chamomile, which makes a really nice tea. The flower shoots up here shortly, and then we'll harvest those. It sort of tastes like a pineapple apple flavor. It's really wonderful. Arugula here, starting to go to bolt also. It's a really nice spicy salad green. This is, you can see our neighbor's honeybee. Sorry, buddy. Arugula sylvetta is the variety. There's a little native bee filling in behind it. And then back here we have some poppies coming up. Those again will produce a nice flower, and that has a wonderful edible seed in it. There's a young dill coming up. So lots of stuff mixed in here. There's salvia back there, more arugula. Going down here to this is a younger cherry tree. It's maybe 5 years old, so just kind of starting to kick in. And then the ugly stuff around the cherry tree is our daffodils. Those are going dormant for the season. We put daffodils around a lot of our fruit trees, especially our stone fruits, because it helps repel voles, which are little underground rodents that basically will eat your tree roots, so you don't want to have those around. And the daffodil bulbs themselves are toxic to voles, so it helps keep them away. A little blanket flower. There's a young blanket flower coming up back there. Jumping in here, nice mix again of some different plants. So you probably recognize this as a tomato. Chamomile here. These are two young watermelons. Those are Moon and Star varieties, which are neat heirloom. They have a pretty kind of green and yellow spots on them, like moon and stars. And moving down the bed, some different brassicas. Have a really nice patch of white Russian kale, which is one of our favorite kales. Has a really nice sweet, kind of a buttery flavor to it. And here's a good shot of plant succession here. So in this cage, you can see a bunch of kale underneath there, and that is probably something you recognize as a cucumber vine. You can see the female flower here. Sorry, it's getting a little windy. It's kind of a stormy day out here. Female flower has a small fruit at its base. The male flowers don't. And so the point of having a cucumber growing in amongst this kale is that the cucumber will fill in and provide harvest throughout the early to midsummer, and the kale will be long gone by then. So what the cucumber will do is provide some shade and extend out the kale's growing season, and mean that we don't have to wait. So if we were just let the kale grow completely to maturity, harvest it completely out, and then put in our cucumber, we'd be waiting 1 or 2 months before we got a harvest. This way we'll actually get more kale, and we'll get immediate harvest from our cucumbers. So there won't be any time where this bed's not producing. And then in the back there, I don't know if you can see those, you have some tomato plants. I think there's probably I think I see a eggplant back there too. Some other summer plants starting to come in. Got beans here in the front, nasturtiums, which are a nice edible green and edible flower. Patch of some beautiful red Russian kale with tomatoes coming up in there, cucumbers over there. So beans in the front. Coming down here to a patch of cilantro, and despite what you might think, cilantro actually is a cool weather plant. Really does not like heat. So if you want to plant it in the summer, you're gonna have to plant it and keep kind of planting it again and again, because it's going to go to bolt, which is fine. And then it produces a seed, which is coriander. So it's an herb you also buy. It's really good. And there's beans growing up amongst the cilantro, and those will provide some shade for the cilantro, and also again prolong its growing season. Some more nice radishes back there. These radishes are actually going to bolt, meaning they're producing seed. So even if you miss, getting your roots from your radishes, you can still get some. These are really tasty. These little tender flower tips. I like to munch on those a lot. Okay, next spot as I'm chewing on my radishes here. you can see some nice Tokyo Market turnips, a good patch of those. And we plant them pretty densely and then thin them out so that we get a, probably need to thin these out a little bit more, but you can see the roots starting to get nice. These are really nice kind of fresh eating turnip, sweet and spicy. But mixed in right with these guys, you can see we have watermelons coming up, tomatoes coming up, dill, some nice choy back there, other Asian brassicas. There's ground cherries in here. There's all kinds of different summer annuals that are going to come in and fill in behind these guys and over the top up, and also again extend the growing season and make sure that we get a harvest immediately, even during the same time or after the same time. Tomatillo starting to grow, nasturtiums, and down to a little lettuce patch here. This is a really cool little lettuce. It's called lava lamp. So it's got the nice red splotches all over it, and with the green kind of lettuce base, bred by a really neat guy out in Oregon, Frank Morton, who's one of the top plant breeders in the world. Australian yellow lettuce, Asian mustard greens down there, but again mixed into all these kind of cool weather crops. We have tomatoes, ground cherries, looks like a Cape gooseberry there. Just all kinds of stuff that's going to come in, fill over the top of it, extend the growing season, and provide us an immediate crop once these lettuces are done producing. So that's how we do succession planting. I think it makes a lot of sense. Especially if you just have a small garden, you can get this continual harvest. All kinds of stuff down there too. Hansai Thai, some various beans. I think there's fava beans. And then kind of going down there to our food forest area in the back of our yard, we have pawpaws and pomegranates and cherries and peaches and pretty much everything, I think. I don't know if there's anything we don't grow back there. All kinds of cool perennial plants, fruit and nut trees, vines, that sort of thing. So just a quick tour showing you a nice hugelkultur bed, still pretty young, but producing a lot of good stuff. This is one of many beds, so imagine how much food, really tasty organic food that you can grow in your yard with these sort of techniques. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments.